Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. If you're new here, my name is Justin. I make regular videos where I go through some aspect of my budgeting process, whether that's looking at my month spending, kind of coming up with financial goals before the year starts, or videos like this one where I go through and allocate my most recent paycheck. As you can see, I have 2 overspent categories, and I'm going to have to ask for forgiveness rather than permission because Justin broke one of the cardinal sins of YNAB, and a rule that I have not broken in probably 1.5 to 2 years. So we'll get into that here shortly. So stay tuned. But before we get into that, I have a couple of changes to my budget, an update to make, and then we can go ahead and get to allocating. So I'm going to move myself to the top corner. So I know in previous videos I've talked about getting a jacket, and the jacket was a small and it was still too big for me. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was able to find a smaller size, an extra small, on Columbia's website, and I purchased 2 extra small jackets. The same one, just an extra small. Those came over the weekend, so I have those. I'm not going to return the small. I'm going to keep all 3, and here's why. So the extra small is perfect if I'm wearing like a sweater or thinner shirt, but it doesn't work well with a hoodie. Sometimes in Arizona, it does get cold enough to where I need a sweatshirt, a hoodie, and the jacket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the small size for when I need to really layer up because it gives me a little bit more room. It's not as claustrophobic. And then I will use and cycle the 2 extra small jackets for just everyday use when I don't need the extra room. So that is my plan there. I also, thanks to Just Finance, they talked about in one of their videos, or a couple of their videos, the Spotify gift card, the annual Spotify gift card. It's $99. You can purchase it. I got mine through Best Buy. It is $99 face value. I didn't get charged any tax, which is great because the monthly charges that I get have tax associated with them. So I saved all that tax dollar. And not only that, $99 for the whole year is much cheaper than paying $13 or $11.99, I think, is what my payment is a month plus the tax for 12 months. So I'm going to be saving money there. I didn't budget for the $99 gift card. I just kind of swung it. I think I took it out of my discretionary spending. So in my subscriptions, you'll notice that I have now tagged it as annual $99 gift card. I also changed my target amount and my target structure to accommodate that change. I added a emissions category. So my vehicle is now getting to the age where it requires emissions every 2 years. So I think it's every 2 years. I'll have to check on that. I do know that when I register my vehicle in December, upcoming this December, I will need a emissions test. So I definitely need the money now. I just don't know if it's every 2 years or every 1 year. I think average cost is $20 to $25. I'm budgeting $25. So I added that and a target to go with it. The last thing is, in videos past, I have been allocating money for my dog's medication, which I purchase every month or every 2 months, depending on how I have it cycled. That money has been coming directly from my pet holding category. But because I know pet meds are going to come be billed every month or every 2 months, I added a target of $100 every 2 months to separate it from the pet holding. In addition to doing that, I have added pet holding to my every paycheck routine. $50 every paycheck, capped at $200. And that way I can cover things in the pet category when I need to. What those are, I don't know. Could be overspent in some category. I don't know. But that is how I'm going to do that. So those are the changes that I've made, the updates that I've made. So now we'll go ahead and get into allocating my paycheck. We'll take care of the overspending sort of when I have everything allocated or all of my bills paid out. But the overspending is a computer, some movies, and a network attached storage device. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I am trying to go off grid with quotations, from streaming media services. So Netflix, HBO Max, Spotify, Disney Plus, all the streaming services that you have to pay for either monthly or annually. I am trying to build an ecosystem that I can have my own media that I can control, watch when I want, don't have to worry about if Netflix or Disney Plus is going to pull that piece of media and replace it with something. I also won't have to scroll for hours looking for something to watch. And at the end of hours of scrolling, still don't find anything interesting to me. All of that will be the thing of the past. So the storage device is not a new topic on this channel. If you recall, I think a year ago, I talked about trying to purchase a storage device from Amazon several times over the span of a week or two. And each time I tried to purchase it using all 3 or 4 of my cards, credit cards and debit cards, the purchase was flagged as fraudulent every time, even when I called my bank and even when I called Amazon and told them, I am about to purchase this, do not flag it for fraud. They still flag it. So that was my hard stop of using Amazon. So I found a storage device at Walmart. It is a different storage device. It still does the same thing. It was less expensive than what I was trying to purchase, but that device was $300 and some change with tax. It was $287 plus tax, so a little over $300. The device requires hard drives to be put in. Since I am going to be building a media ecosystem, I need a lot of storage because movie files and TV show files and music files can be quite large. And to build enough of a library that makes me happy is going to require hundreds, if not thousands, of movies and TV shows. So I'm going to need a lot of storage. I purchased 2 10 terabyte hard drives from Walmart, also from Walmart. Those individually, I think, were $250 each. So that combined was $500. So we're in the $800 range, $800 to $900 range, I think. And then I purchased a desktop computer for $1,100 or $1,200. It's a pre-built. It's not your typical desktop or computer. I can upgrade it. I can swap things out, add things to it. So it's got some headroom, so to speak. But I got that computer because my laptop was not strong enough to rip DVDs in a speed that made sense. So that computer is going to be my now new main computer, in addition to my ripping media computer. Oh, by the way, I also purchased a couple DVD drives to rip DVDs because I'm testing them. So those were a couple $100. So all in, my overspending is, let's call it $2,200. The cardinal sin that I did was I had a plan for how I was going to fund those things, but the plan did not include money that is in my possession. So I basically spent money that I don't already have yet. Technically, I mean, technically I do have the money. It's just earmarked for my credit overage from my rent. So long as they don't come asking for that before I can get my amended tax return and my security deposit for my old apartment back, I'll be fine. But yeah, I've already started building out my media. I only have a couple movies and TV shows in it, but this is basically it. You can do movies and TV shows. I think you can do music somehow. I'm still kind of learning it, but I have a couple movies in here. Don't recommend Flight Risk. It was a crappy movie. For it to be a Mark Wahlberg movie, it was low budget. It felt really low budget. I think that's probably because Mel Gibson, who has been ostracized by Hollywood, was the director. Not a very good movie. My favorite movie of all time, Big Short, awesome movie, and Gladiator. I also have Penguin, the Penguin. I've been watching it here and there. So I'm slowly, like I said, building out my media. I hope to have hundreds, if not thousands, of things in here. But that is my overall plan, so that eventually I can get rid of all my media streaming and can control all of my media. Now you know what my cardinal sin was. Now you know kind of how I'm going to pay for it. So now let's go ahead and allocate my paycheck for the things that I need to do right now with that money. I always set aside $960. For now, it's $960 for rent. I am keeping that money in this overage credit category because my apartment complex gave me almost $3,000 additional credits than they should have. And I'm banking on them not noticing, but karma means that they're probably going to notice it, especially if I spend that money, which I kind of just did. So pray for me. But until I start actually needing to pay rent and all of these credits that are on my rent account go to zero, I'm just socking away my rent money in this category. Then I set aside money every paycheck for various things in my budget, like clockwork, to make sure that money is always going into those things. I do want to add my media to my every paycheck. So household consumables, and a lot of these are going to be capped. Well, some of them are capped, some of them are not. Household consumables is capped. So once I hit my capped amount, I don't contribute to them until I need to, until that cap amount has been depleted. Water refill is capped, so I don't need to put money there. Rent, I'm handling that a different way, so 4 walls are covered. Gas, I don't have a cap on it per se, but I don't typically put more than $50. That's more than enough for a tank of gas. I don't foresee needing a tank of gas in the next 2 weeks, so we'll just leave this here. Pet holding is also a new thing I added. So we'll put $50 there. I just purchased dog food, so we'll fill that back up. The pet stuff is done. Dining and discretionary. I always put $50 each. For media, media is going to include the purchase of movies, TV shows, music when I get to building a music library. For now, because I'm kind of low budget at this point until I kind of recover from my binder, so to speak, I'm going to do $25 every paycheck for now. I'm not going to put money in it yet. I'll put money in it after I cover this overspend. So that takes care of my every paycheck items. I'm a month ahead, so there really probably isn't anything in February that I still need to cover outside of my overspending, but we'll just do a quick sweep just in case. Groceries. I usually purchase groceries on the 1st of the month for the entire month. As you can see, we're almost done with February and I still have my $200 there. I've had enough money, or I've had enough food carried over from January that I haven't needed to purchase groceries. So I'm going to put this money, this is a weird way to do it, but I'm going to do it this way because it makes me feel good. I'm going to put it into ready to assign, and I will assign it in March. That way the March line item has a nice green bar for fully funded instead of a blue bar. Just makes me feel happy. 4 walls is good. All right, so February is good. So we'll go ahead and go into March. We'll first look at our underfunded just to see what's there. Obviously, credit card is underfunded. We'll take care of that here in a second. Here is where I'm going to put the $200 for March. Groceries. Rent, I'm not going to cover. Power, I still don't know what my power bill is going to be. I have a target of 110, so I still need 45 for that. So we'll cover the 45. Transportation, we'll cover the emissions. And then pet meds, I'm actually going to put that in here. Plus 100. All right, so that covers all of my overspending or underfunded amount in March. So now we'll go and we'll just do a quick sweep of everything. Yeah, so everything looks good. Eventually, we'll start putting money towards pet emergencies, which is my top target right now, savings target. But we're kind of handling other things at the moment. All right, so now let's talk about overspending. So as you can see, my overspending is, like I said, $2,200, give or take. I'm going to cover my media overspending from discretionary. Now what I want to do is I want to put that $25 in media. And now I'm going to take the rest of what's in ready to assign and put that towards the overage for technology. I'm going to cover the rest of this from my apartment overage. And YNAB calls it a win. Not really a win. If only they knew. It's totally a loss. But that covers all of my overspending, all of my budget. And that is all she wrote. So again, please forgive me for I have sinned. Do not do what I just did. It's not recommended. If I didn't already have that socked away money for the, rent credit overage, I'd like to think I wouldn't have purchased those things. But even if I did, it probably would have caused credit card debt and possible interest, which is something that I've been trying to avoid and have been really good at avoiding it for the better part of 1.5 to 2 years. So that is my video. I'm human. I make dumb mistakes even now, but it's not so much the mistake that you make, it's how you recover. So always recover from the mistakes you make, learn from them, and move on. Just like Jesse Meacham said in one of his previous videos, just move on. And that is where I will leave you until next time.